What's up guys, it's Extra Detroit here. Today we're going to be talking about how to make a good beatbox EQ. It's going to be a little bit longer of a video, so make sure you stay tuned for the entire thing. Make sure you like and subscribe, drop a comment, turn on the notification bell, you know the deal, and yeah, let's get into it. So before we go over to the setup, that way I can show you what all the ranges do, there's a few general knowledge things that we got to get through first. And number one is you don't need any paid subscription, no paid hardware, you don't need anything like that to get a good EQ. There's free options out there. I'm not too sure about phones, you know, like a phone mic or a phone app, but I know that there is free software on the computer that you can get, download it, everything will be fine, tweak your EQ, make your mic sound good for free. But obviously you're going to get your best results if you go with something paid. Like I said, there's that free software, it's called Voice Meter Banana. There's a few different versions, you can get that. Free EQ pretty much. It's okay, it does its job. You can go up to a paid subscription type service with FL Studio, or you can just get straight hardware, kind of like I'm going to be demonstrating with over here. But once again, you do not need it. There's a few terms that I'm going to be using, mainly low, mid, and high, and let's go ahead and get those out of the way. So lows is stuff like your bass lines, stuff like that. Your mids are going to be typically your vocals or your most vocal basses. And your highs are going to be stuff like hi-hats and snares. So another thing is, whenever you go to make a beatboxing EQ, you're going to want to make sure you have a good balance overall. You're not going to want to crank up the lows and drop the highs and mids and make everything all muddy, but you're not going to want to crank up the highs to make everything super sharp. You got to make sure you have a good overall balance. That way, whenever somebody's listening to it, they enjoy it. So now that we got all that out of the way, let's go ahead and go over to the setup and we can get started. All right, so for our testing here, we're going to be using the SM58 from Shure. Super basic microphone. Most people have this type of microphone, so I figured it would be the best one to use. And so yeah, let's go ahead and get into our tests. So this is what the mic sounds like without any EQ, going straight into the loop station, nothing. It could use a little bit of work. It's a little muddy, it's a little flat, so let's see if we can't EQ that out. So we're gonna come over here to EQ. You can see that we have a lot of different options here. We have lows, low mids, highs, and the level. So we're gonna go ahead and turn the level up to 1. And then we can get started. So whenever we do our low sounds, it's a little flat and it doesn't really have much weight. So we'll turn these up just a little. Maybe a little bit more. I like that. I like how that sounds. Alright. We're gonna come over here to low mids. And we're gonna turn these down a little bit. And you can hear the mic start to flesh out a little bit. Okay, gonna come over here to high mids and turn these up. And we'll come over here to highs and obviously turn these up too. Alright, so some of it is still a little flat, so we'll turn this up just a little bit more. Maybe turn the highs up just a tad. And yeah, so compared, so clearly there's a difference. Let's go back to the main setup, that way we can fully break down what just happened and wrap up. So there we have it. Like I said, you don't need any hardware, any software. I was just doing that as an example. We saw and heard what the mic sounded like before the EQ and afterwards. We learned how to get a really good overall balance. And I'm pretty happy with how that mic sounded. Hopefully, this can help you out just a little bit, and hopefully it taught you just a little bit more about how to make a good beatboxing EQ. I'll see you in the next one.